Mortimer, everybody. It's so lovely to see you. I haven't seen you in a dog's age.
I know. I went. The researcher said it hadn't been for some time, and I said it was before I left Los Angeles, which was about 10 years ago. And she said, no, it was 3 years ago. So
yeah, no, we haven't been on the air 10 years.
Right.
We won't be on the air another 10 days, I don't think, after that.
But she warned me. Oh my God, it's there, the horse.
Yes, it's all right. It's perfectly friendly.
It's very disconcerting.
No, he's fine. He means well. Look, he's
like,
bowing to you.
Oh God, I feel like he's going to charge at me.
No, charging is extra.
She warned me about the horse and the robot.
Well, the robot's fine. It's
Where is the
absolutely.
robot?
Yeah, I'm fine. He's just doing that. Now, you're still English, I see.
Yes, I think so, yes.
Yeah, we were just talking about Downton Abbey earlier on, and then Jeff and I were pretending to be English. Were we any good at it?
You were brilliant. You're brilliant at everything you do.
Oh, stop it.
I don't know whether I saw it, but I know that you were brilliant.
Well, you were right there.
I was just worrying about what I was going to say to you.
Don't worry, it's all right. I tell you. No. I won an award since you were here last.
What did you win an award for?
I don't know.
Your brilliant English accent.
Yes, that's right, possibly. Do you do accents in other shows and things?
Sometimes.
Really? What
Yes.
do you do? What's your favourite?
I can do a Russian accent.
Can you really?
Yes.
Can you speak Russian?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Go.
The accent, I can say, in a Russian accent, I can say, I had a boyfriend who was Russian, and all he could say in English was, hello, my name is Tony Dakota. I am an astronaut from Minnesota. And I fell madly in love with him. Of course.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yes.
But what do you want me to say something?
Well, what about, can you say hello?
Something very rude, lots of very rude.
No, you can't, unfortunately, because they're onto us with that. We used to say naughty words in other languages, and we snuck a few out, and then they brought in interpreters and Google and all sorts. And,
all right, I'll say something.
But you speak Russian. Have you been to Russia?
Yes, I lived there.
I love Russia. Where have you been to?
Moscow.
I've been there, yes. Did you see Lenin in his tomb?
Yes, I did. I saw Lenin.
Doesn't move much. I thought it would be... No, if this was here, they'd animatronic him a little bit so he'd wave or get up and go, hey.
I thought someone said it was in the guidebook or something that someone had seen his ear fall off as they walked past.
Yes, I don't believe that though, do you?
I did, but I don't know. I mean, if you've been lying in a sort of mausoleum for 50 years, you would think your ear might fall off.
Well, I don't see... There's a big rumour, a conspiracy theory that it's not him at all.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's played by an actor.
A living actor?
Yes, an actor who comes in, he's like, morning George, morning Chad, and he comes in and he lies down and he's like... And then when they close at the end of the day, he gets up and goes home.
I wonder how much you get paid for that.
It's a living.
It'll do.
Have you ever been to St. Petersburg?
I have, very beautiful.
That's what a beautiful city. It's like
stunning.
It's like Paris, but Yes,
or Amsterdam, or all of those places.
Yeah,
no, it's great.
Really, very beautiful. I loved it there. Ooh.
Well, let's go.
I'm just remembering. That was very, very nice indeed. What were you doing there? Were you acting?
I was studying, yes. I went, as part of my degree, I went to study Russian in Moscow. I studied Russian and English at university, and then I went for a year to Moscow. But by then I already had decided I wanted to be an actress. And so I went to the Moscow Arts Theatre and studied acting there. And I fell madly in love before I met the Russian guy that could only say, my name is Tony Dakota, I'm an astronaut from Minnesota.
Yes.
I fell madly in love with the guy that was teaching me acting, who didn't notice that I was madly in love with him. And I didn't notice he was incredibly boring because he was so handsome that...
I think that's that's happened to some women before you, actually. That
Yes,
they
and
thought someone was handsome and they thought that meant interesting as well.
Yes, it happened for many months. I thought he was so wonderful because he was so good looking. But then he came to my house with a lot of other people from the school, and we all got very, very drunk. And he took me out onto the balcony.
Uh-oh.
And I thought, my God, my moment has
Here we go.
come.
Yeah, yeah.
And he started sort of declaiming and looking at the moon and talking about the moon in a sort of romantic fashion. And I was standing behind him, and I was so drunk. And I suddenly realized I needed to be sick. But
You were pretty drunk.
But I didn't want to leave because I thought, I can't leave, this moment has come. And he's talking about the moon, and there he is. And so I was very quietly sick into my hands. And he kept going. But he was so delighted with himself that he didn't notice the girl behind him was vomiting quietly into her.
Did you?
No, I took it to the loo.
Oh, you took it away with you? Is it? Oh, excuse me. That's lovely. What a lovely, enchanting, romantic story.
I'm sorry, I've lowered
No, it's fine. Listen, the newsroom's great. Jeff Daniels is in it. He's very funny, isn't he?
He's awesome.
Yeah, no, he's very funny. I mean, he's not funny in the show, obviously. Well,
he is
funny in the show as well.
He was just funny on the...
Yeah, he was funny there. Yeah. But it's not, I don't think, I mean, he's very...
charismatic and slightly grumpy.
Grumpy? Is he grumpy?
No, on the show.
Like, if you were sick into your hands near Jeff Daniels, he'd be like, what are you doing?
He'd be very forgiving, I'm sure. But
is there a phase in life that you go through where handsomeness is enough, but then you have to add to it? Like, you're attracted to a handsome young actor, but then later on you think, well, I'm going to need more than just being able to talk to the moon.
Yes, I think so.
See, because I think for a lot of people, it's fine just to stay there, particularly the men who are talking to the moon. They never get past it. They're like, hello. It's rather fun.
But you've got it all. You're handsome and funny and very interesting and very clever and extremely successful.
Are you going to be sick or something? Don't do that. We have to take a break. We'll be right back with Emily Mortimer. We'll be right back. I loved when I said to Emily, we were just talking, and then I said, we're back, and she said a word that you're not allowed to say.
I could say it in Russian. No, I can't.
Well, you could say it in Russian and they would bleep it in American, but I don't know what it is in Russian, so just go ahead and say it.
Well, it's complicated.
What's that coming to go?
That's a whole phrase.
What's that coming to go?
But that's terrible. That's terrible. Does anybody know about that?
No.
Okay. There's going to be a lot of Ukrainian
No, there's
people.
not, because they'll beep it anyway, because, so the Ukrainian people are like, why? We came here for freedom of speech. I don't know. They got some bug in their ass at the moment about me and my language.
Oh, they do?
Apparently.
Have you got a foul mouth?
I am a little bit cussy as a man.
I swear far too much.
I think it's quite a British thing, though. I think British people swear a lot.
Yes, and we use it as a term of, we use swearing as a kind of way of being affectionate with each other.
Right, but I'm an American now, so I can't do it anymore. Are you an American citizen now?
I am.
Oh, well, then you've got to
But
stop.
I only learned very recently, about 3 or 4 years ago, considering I've been here many years, from my mother-in-law, that I cannot say the word that we cannot say.
Don't even think it.
Well, because she said to me something like, what's this person like? And I said, well, they're very nice, but you couldn't say
that word.
Yeah. She said, oh, and I went, oh my God, I can't say that word in front of you. And
right,
she said,
yeah. But you know what word you can say is fanny. I know. Fanny's absolutely fine, right? Fanny is fine. Now, the thing is, fanny in Britain is like, oh, no. You mustn't say fanny. Well, you can say fanny as long as it's someone's name, but when you start saying what it is, you get a frosty reception. I'll tell you later. Anyway, that's so it's, you know, you can say Fanny. Did you ever see that?
You could say, I was talking to
Touch my leg
hair-
again. Touch my leg. Ah, there you go. Now pull my hair a little bit.
No! I was talking to my hairdresser, who is, well, a hairdresser a while ago, after I had this conversation with my mother-in-law about the conversation, and he's Scottish.
Right.
And I was saying, and he was saying, yeah, no, it's crazy. And in Scotland, particularly, it's a term of affection.
It actually is a term of affection,
And you
yes.
would say, I love you, you...
Absolutely. Yeah. But you say it here, they call the police. Yeah. Well, you know, different strokes for different folk. It's all right.
I know, it's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. Love all the people.
No, but what I was telling... Oh, shall I...
No, tell me now.
In the commercial break... Was it a commercial break?
Sure.
No, it
was.
He said, how are you enjoying being in America? And I was telling you this story about my little girl in the back of the car the other day who was singing along to a Disney song. Am I allowed to say Disney?
Yes, you can say Disney. Although it is a cuss word in certain parts of America.
Are they going to bleep it out?
No, they won't.
Anyway, and she was singing along to this, the theme tune from Sophia the Princess or something, where,
right.
I can't sing, but the words were something like, I can be anyone, and I can do anything, and I can see anyone, and I can be anything. And I was thinking, God, isn't that interesting? If you were a child in England singing that song, you'd sort of be shot. People,
Yeah, we would.
people would
be anything, we'll see about that. Yeah.
People would be disgusted.
Yeah,
People would vomit into their hair.
I always thought if Billy Joel had been Scottish, right, he would have sang, bottle of red, bottle of white, you think you're great, but you're bollocks. Did I say that? Oh.
That's been bleeped.
Yes, I mean, well, they know it's, you know, it's something that rhymes with white.
Right.
So that's it. We're out of time. We're done.
Oh, good.
What do you mean, oh, good? Barry Rothbart, everybody, Barry Rothbart.
It's my new thing. That's my new thing right there. I want to get something out of the way. I'm very successful. Which is why when I go home from the airport, I take something called a super shuttle, also known as a shared ride van. And if you don't know what that is, a shared ride van is where a bunch of successful people get together in a van and just be successful all the way home, thinking about their success for about an hour and a half longer than it should take, in complete awkward silence. I feel like every time I get in a shared ride van, it's like I'm getting in a family van right after the father finished being abusive. I feel like a minute before I get in a shared ride van as a dad is just like, shut up, Karen! Shut up! I hate you! I hate the kids! Hang on, someone's coming. And then an hour and a half. I got in trouble naked. Not for being naked, which is usually what happens. Or someone's like, you're being naked. This is the public library. No. I was naked and I got in trouble. I was at a spa for the first time. It was a nude spa. And I walked out of the pool area into the locker room, and I was wet and naked. And apparently you're supposed to dry off first because the guy yelled at me, sir, stop what you're doing. And I froze. And in that moment, I learned something about myself, because my gut reaction was to quickly cover my breasts. I learned something. I learned that, number one, that's what I'm insecure about. And number two, in a time of crisis, I become a cartoony woman. A lot of people ask me, they're like, Barry, you're going to have a future once you get older. You're going to have a future in television. And I say, yeah, because there's a guy out there who's named Larry King. They're like, are you going to get ugly when you get older? And I'm like, yeah, I'm Jewish. Larry King is my idol Because Larry King is so old and Jewy that he basically looks like if a pastrami sandwich came to life and started speaking. Yeah. He does. He has a new show now. Yeah, he has a new show, and I can only expect that show to just be him interviewing other Jewish deli meat sandwiches. Yeah. We're in the studio. If you just joined us, we're here with corned beef. Corned beef. What do you want? Some mustard? Mustard? Oh, we got brisket. You got brisket here. What are you not a fan of the Obama administration? All right, let's take a caller. I live in New York. I like being there because I get to see guys way too aggressively hitting on girls on the street. I like seeing that in public. I'm not the type of guy to do that. I'm not the type of guy to go up to a girl I don't know and start talking to her. I'm more the type of guy to stare down a girl until she feels the need to button her shirt one more button. And I saw this. I was on the street. This girl was walking in front of me. This guy approaches her. I can only describe this guy as probably owning every Fast and the Furious DVD. And he came up to her, and he goes like this. He goes, "Damn, girl, what you doing?" And she's like, "Excuse me?" And before she could finish, he goes, "Shut up!" And he walks away. And this was a Monday morning. That means you left the house to do that. And I was like, why? And then the only thing I think of was he was doing her a huge favor. Maybe what he was doing was instantly living out what would have happened if they dated. The 2-second preview. It's going to be lust, confusion, anger, leaving. Just saved you 2.5 years. Maybe he had this psychic ability to live out any situation he goes into instantly. Like he'd be like, "Hey, how do I work at T-Mobile?" And the guy's like, "Oh, here's an application." He's like, "Shut up, I didn't steal no cell phones!"
Good job, man. See you, buddy.